Shalom. Before I start, going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachakorash, the honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa'akwath, learning, teaching, in truth and sincerity. Another video through the Spirit. Your brother Malak from GMS Detroit. This video right here, um, came across some good. Esau Edom, y'all. We know that they have all kinds of mysterious plots set up to do us bad and evil. Now, when we speak about it, when I say we, right, Negroes, Latinos, Native, when us, the victims, speak about these nefarious plots that the so-called white man has against us, we're oftentimes made to be seen as, lying. Oh, y'all are just paranoid. So what has the Heavenly Father done? He'll commonly put it on the spirit of his fellow Edomite man to reveal these plots. And that's the whole point of this video, y'all. A lot of the things that we know, these things were secret, y'all. People die. People was choked to death. You ever played or seen the game in the movies Hitman, right? Agent 47 with the fucking wire, right? He'll wrap around your neck and choke you to death. People have died behind the information that we know. And many times, right, hey, the Heavenly Father, he puts the spirit on Edom, on whistleblowers to reveal the secrets of his own people, even to their own detriment, right? Because they just want to get the truth out. And that's the point of this video, y'all. That's how we know, we're not crazy. We're not paranoid. Yes, there's an active plot against you by the people who rule over you to destroy you. We didn't just wake up one day and decide to run around with Nikes and smoke weed, right? Granted, we're in our state of sin until the Lord returns. These people have actively plotted against us, destroyed our communities, right? Disenfranchised us, stripped us of wealth, land, right? All that good stuff, and broken us down systematically. And they were getting paychecks weekly and bi-weekly to do so. So let's let it go.
For most of the 20th century, the FBI wasn't just a government agency. It was an American religion. The G-Men, the Untouchables, in movies and TV shows, scripts often provided by the Bureau themselves. They were straight arrow scientists of law enforcement. They caught the kidnappers, they broke up the mob, and they stood as a shield against chaos. But while they were playing that story on television, it was a different reality happening in the dark. For decades, the Bureau functioned as a domestic political police force, one that viewed the Bill of Rights not as a rule book, but as an obstacle. So today, we're going to walk through that system that J. Edgar Hoover built. We're going to look at how the machinery of national security turned inward against its own citizens, from civil rights leaders to college sophomores. And we're going to tell the story of how the perfect crime finally broke that spell. So let me show you the trail that turned the G-Men into a ghost story.
So on paper, they're set up as if they're the golden standard of righteousness and civil order, right? These people are doing you a service, but they're not, y'all. And this is how this man works. He pretends to be righteous in the eyes of the people, but in all actuality, he's a demon, y'all. Let me go get something real quick. See, he's set up in their leadership of the world, but Habakkuk, excuse me. But is he actually a righteous man? No. Habakkuk, there we go. Habakkuk 2 and 4, right? It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith, right? And in today's time, the man who's lifted up in the world is Esau Edom, right? He's at the helm, he's running the show. Also, in the eyes of the people, right, he is worshipped and clamorized. He's set up as the gold standard. His media, right, his law enforcement agencies, his language, his apparel. He's set up as the gold standard to be on the earth. But in all actuality, is he? Okay, excuse me. I want to go to Isaiah 14 and 13. This is the mindset of Esau Edom today, right? The current king of Babylon, the rulers of the world. Isaiah 14 and 13, it says, For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. So these people, y'all, in their minds and their spirits, they believe that they are the pinnacle of all that is great on the earth of humanity. And this is how they act in their arrogance. And for a long time, all of us, people of the world, we were in belief, right? We worshiped the beast to a degree, right? Now, I mean, not taking the chip, of course, but everybody, one way or another, when you're born into this world, right, come up under some sort of idolatrous religion, right? Some of us are, patriotic, right? So my nigga will get up and go to the military, right? But now the scales is being shaken off, and we're being able to see this man for what he is.
Snap your W-2 and file your taxes 100% free. Plus, get your biggest refund. Roughly 37. So, to understand what happened, you have to understand the atmosphere in America. This is the Cold War. The Reds.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, y'all.
Here, for year that subversion was
right here. I just want to get to J. Edgar Hoover, demonic ass.
A fluid term. And he didn't just mean a Soviet spy. He meant the civil rights movement. He meant the anti-war movement, the gay rights organizations, and the feminist movements. By the late 1960s, the country was on fire. Cities were burning, campuses were revolting against the Vietnam War, and the black freedom struggle was challenging the racial hierarchy. The FBI stopped looking for crimes and started looking for ideologies. They created a secret list like the Security Index, a roster of 20,000 Americans who were to be rounded up, detained without trial in the event of a national emergency.
In the event of a national emergency. So, hey, what is Trump about to declare? Bingo, right? Y'all, look. These are laws and plans they've had written up together, for decades, right? They're gonna come head hunting for some of us. Now I'm gonna fast forward because basically he's just laying the groundwork. How, essentially, oh, we're almost there. The FBI, on paper it's supposed to be a good organization helping, keep the country safe. But then what they started doing is taking out their own citizens, right, who would voice their disagreements with the government, whether it be through protests or gathering of the people, and they would infiltrate and have people assassinated, right? Let's fast forward.
That to save democracy in 71, this heist changed history. William David, a physics professor at Haverford College. He was malmannered, he was a father, he was a pacifist, but he had come to a radical conclusion. The only way to prove that the FBI was suppressing dissent was to steal their files. So he recruited 8 ordinary citizens. They called themselves the Citizens Commission to investigate the FBI. Included in the crew was a cab driver, a graduate student, and a religion professor. They spent months casing the FBI's field office in Media, Philadelphia. It was a small suburban outpost. They noted that security was almost non-existent. Standard locks, no alarms. They picked the perfect night, the fight of the century between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. They knew no police, the guards, and the neighbors would be glued to the radio and the TV.
So this is actually slick as fuck. They decided to go do this mission while everybody was watching the damn fight.
Ali was taking punches in the ring. They were picking the lock. They walked into the darkened office. And they didn't take cash. They didn't take any weapons. They packed up every single cabinet's contents into a suitcase and walked out. From there, they drove to a farmhouse, covered the windows with blankets, and began to read. And what they found wasn't criminal evidence. It was political dynamite.
There you go, $1,025. We're all winning today, baby!
There's this myth that addiction is just lack of willpower, but that's not how the brain works.
Opioid addiction affects found a route slip with terrifying instructions that stated enhance paranoia and get the point across that there is an FBI agent behind every mailbox. They also found a strange acronym that no American had ever heard of before, COINTELPRO. So, what was COINTELPRO? The acronym actually stood for Counterintelligence Program. It was a secret series of operations designed not to arrest targets but neutralize them.
And that, y'all, for brothers and sisters, you've been in this truth for a minute. COINTELPRO should ring bells, right? Synonymous with King, uh, with Rex 84 plan, right? COINTELPRO, the program that the government put together to suppress your black monkey ass to make sure you would never rise up out of this captivity, y'all. Remember, these are things decades past that is familiar to us. These people were finding this shit out live time. This would have completely broke and destroyed your trust in the United States government, which you shouldn't have trusted in this bitch any damn way. But right there, y'all, the Lord put that on the spirit of some Edomites while we was in the house hooping and hollering over Frazier and Muhammad, right? You know, drinking and cheering and shit. They was in there on some spy shit. Why? Because the Spirit hopped on them to do what? Psalm 64 and 8. So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. The Heavenly Father put it on their spirit to snitch on the wickedness of their own people. Remember, y'all, Esau Edom, not only does he oppress us, but by proxy, he oppresses the lower end Edomites since they're next to us, economically. And they be tired of it. So they ran up in there, some regular Joe Schmoes, walked into the FBI building, didn't steal money, didn't steal guns, they stole the files. And come to find out, yes, your government spies on you. Yes, they've assassinated people. Yes, they have agendas to keep the Israelites down, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Yes, the people you put trust in. All right, so if they had it back then, do you think they don't have it now, Jacob? It ain't no wonder, you see all the things that's going on. These are plots and these are plans. And if you're foolish enough to walk into one of these traps out here, you're gonna lose your life. You're gonna fuck around and lose your life. Let me get another one. Let me check something. Yeah. Yep. Oh, yep. Hey, Psalms 57 and 6, it says, they have prepared a net for my steps. Esau Edom, right? The elite. They be working all these plans, all these traps. My soul is bowed down. They have digged a pit before me. Into the midst whereof they are fallen themselves. Selah. Bingo, y'all. So here it is. This guy, he works in the shadows because it's in the power of his hand, like it tells us in Micah. And one way or another, y'all, these plots and these plans get spoiled for our embedment and to their detriment. And it's fucking perfect. He always works it out for us. Hey, it wasn't none of our black asses who went and ran up in that building. You would have got shot down coming from a mile away. Boy, what you doing out here? Right? Would have blew your great granddaddy down. But hey, Esau put in some work for us.
The stolen files, the investigation that followed, revealed a playbook of psychological warfare. One of their most chilling examples was the campaign against Dr. King. The FBI wiretapped his homes, bugged his hotel rooms. They didn't find him committing treason, but they did find him committing extramarital affairs.
And so, King was a fag and doing all kinds of demonic, freaky shit. And, he wasn't nobody to venerate because he was set up by the Amalekites, and then he tried to go against them towards the end of his life, right? And that's why they took him out. But you see here, y'all, nobody's off limits to eat. He'll kill anything and anyone that doesn't help forward his New World Order agenda.
Before, the FBI mailed a package to King's home. It contained an audio tape of him in a hotel room and an unsigned letter. The letter called him an evil, abhorrent beast. It suggested he remove himself, sent by the federal government to a civil rights leader. In Chicago, The FBI provided floor plans to Fred Hampton's apartment to the local police before the raid that killed him. In Los Angeles, agents forged letters using cartoons and insults to incite a gang war between the Black Panthers and a rival group called the U.S. Organization. The goal was written within their memos. It was to prevent the rise of a
Right there, prevent the rise of a messiah who could unify and electrify the militant black nationalist movement, right? Y'all, they were not, when and we quote this a lot, this is not just a fucking idiom or a goofy saying. Esau Edom sincerely means this, which is why whenever you see leaders pop up in the so-called black community, you have to ask yourself, where the fuck did this guy come from? Who's lacing his pockets? Our leaders for this truth are going to be set up by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. If a dude has connections, he is not set up by the Heavenly Father. All right, Isaiah 30, and I'm going to start at 20. It says, and though the Lord give you the bread of affliction and the water, give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers, and thine eyes shall hear a word behind thee, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it, when you turn to the right hand, and when you turn to the left. The only leaders that we're going to have are the ones set up through the Spirit by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which we know we have here at Great Millstone by way of our elders and apostles, right, the bishops, uh, set up above us, who have not been bought out, who they don't go around doing speeches, go around doing interviews, y'all. All that shit is these fuckers are not going to. This is not the 1960s, bro. We're not out there marching in the streets. What we do now is spiritual. If we try to do anything carnal, these people have traps and snares in place. You out there marching, you out there at the gun range. If we try to play physical and carnal with Esau, they will destroy us. We cannot win carnally. We only win spiritually. Jeremiah 3:15, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And that's why the civil rights leaders of old all fell, because they were not sent by the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Our apostles have been sent. That's why they're still around and breathing today. Haven't been infiltrated, haven't been assassinated, y'all. This is deadly serious. This man has been knocking us down for decades. Come on now.
The goal was written within their memos. It was to prevent the rise of a black messiah who could unify the movement. But they also went beyond politics. They targeted actress Jean Seberg because she supported civil rights groups. They planted false stories in gossip columns saying that her pregnancy was a result of an extramarital affair.
So right there, they go around lying, stealing, slandering, and assassinating. This is how these people get down. And the whole point of this video, I'll just showing you, hey, the Heavenly Father, excuse me, he put it on the spirit of some Edomites to expose it. Demons at the FBI. Boy, them boys is demons. And I want to get these people who exposed it. They didn't actually reveal their identity till 2014, apparently. God damn it.
In the playoffs, you need to find that extra gear. The betting is live, and
The Citizens Commission burglars were never caught. The FBI hunted them for 5 years, closing the case in 1976. It wasn't until 2014 that they stepped forward.
Right there, some old Edomites. They went in there and got that mission done for us. But that's funny. Just the fulfillment of that Psalm 64, y'all. So our fight is spiritual. We can't win this carnally. Esau has the whole carnal game set up. They'll put a bomb under your car, put a bomb in your mailbox, destroy your reputation online. We're fighting this battle spiritually, right? So that's all we got to do. All right. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim. Rachach Rashta, honors to the elders and apostles. Okay, Millstone, peace Blessings and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa Akwa, learning, teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom.